You know what that sound means. It's time once again. Staying Classy from Integrity Gamer back with you. And boy, when it rains, it pours. Not that there's a lot of raining going on over here, but since I've decided to stream earlier today and just want to hop right back in tonight, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of Fallout Shelter. But let's just get right into it. Let's quit this stream starting soon nonsense. And let's just jump right into the shelter. As you can see, apropos, I've named my shelter Vault 76. And we are just going to do it. $114 residents. We're keeping it classy here. I'm going to go over some of the strategies I use in Fallout Shelter. Help grow it out. Right now, one of the things I'm doing, which I'll go over with you, is building a super army within the shelter to operate the shelter and to send out. And it's basically just consisting of me shuffling people around and just maxing out all their attributes. Thus far, I've got all the rooms that you can have, which is pretty sweet, pretty nice. I like that. And yeah, so let's see what we got going on here. Love to catch the mysterious man in the trench coat and get those dollars. 21,000 caps right now, not too shabby. If there's any tips I had to give for beginners, power is priority one. Everything that you want to do in this game requires power, so just go overboard on it. And I don't mean overboard like stretching yourself too thin, just have more power than what you need. And make sure you've got guys that can run those power rooms very efficiently, which means make sure their S or strength attribute is maxed right out. Let's see how we're doing here. I don't have any max people in. Well, okay, no. Some of these guys are almost maxed out on perception. Some of them are still ways off. Some of these guys I just cycled in here were just like super new. So they hadn't had any training whatsoever. And that sound means there he is, right behind the guys on the treadmill. It's raining dollars, kids. Raining dollars. I'll give you just a pull back view of what I've got going on here, just so you can see. Vault entrance, which is totally maxed out, as you can see. Fully upgraded. Just about everything that I have is completely upgraded. Oh boy, room on fire, and there's no one in there. That's really the worst case scenario. One thing I like about this game is if you have an emergency in a room, and you got people in a room adjacent to it, you can send them in, and they'll take care of business for you. And then they will go right back to the rooms that they were in before, so you don't have to place them back manually, which is a real pain. You do have to place them in there manually, but after that's done, you're all set. Fire's really not too much to worry about here. Nothing that really does any permanent damage. It's not even in a room that's supplying food, water, or electricity, so not too concerned about it. An annoying sound, no doubt. Definitely gets your attention. To find the guy in the trench coat hoarding all your money, your potential monies anyway, it's all sound cues. You'll hear that piano lick, and then if you have a surround system or even just a basic 2.1 system, stereo system, you can hear from which side that piano sound is coming from, and then you can trace them right down to just about the room. Now it does get a little trickier once you have a bigger vault like I do, and you're trying to do 10 different things at once, but that's just a really good hint for tracking him down. It'll work. It works every time. It's just a matter of you finding him based on that cue. So he's a pretty good hider too. As you can see, last time it was hiding behind the people on the treadmill. It was like there's two guys back there. So sometimes you've got to move the camera around because he'll be hiding in an angle that you might not see from one angle. You kind of got to get around and see all the angles from within a room. But once you do that, you're pretty much solid gold. I've actually been playing this game since it came out on iOS, like in 2015. I mastered it. I had over 200 people. All the rooms built then too, and it was very early. It was right when the game released, and they didn't have nearly the features of the game that they've added on since. So I got bored with it pretty quick. But once they re-released it for the PS4, I thought, nah, let's get some free trophies. I already know I'm good at this game, and it's pretty addictive, pretty fun. Not that those two things are mutually conjoined. Sure, heroin's not fun as it destroys your life. But you know what I'm saying. I don't want to go to the extremes here. I do have the Nuka-Cola plant. It's not fully upgraded. I'll show you what I do have though. I've got a couple nuke plants, nuclear reactors. Okay, it sounds like he is center channel somewhere. And there he is. I was right. And look at that, almost 5,000 caps. I can't believe this chump died. This is like one of the first deaths I've ever had in this vault. I guess I should have been paying closer attention to Nicole. Let's see, what are her stats? Where did I have her? Probably not in athletics. She would have been maxed out there. I probably had her maxing out her charisma then. Go on, Space Cadet Nicole. So just like that, you can hit a windfall, get almost 5,000 caps, and boy is that nice. I don't think there's necessarily any rhyme or reason to knowing how much he's going to give you once you catch him. Seems kind of random from what I can tell. He can be really well hidden, and he was only going to give you a few hundred when you find him, but sometimes I've caught him right out in the open, like in one of the elevators here. And he will stand in the elevator way there, right by the doors. And it's a dead giveaway, because it'll be lit up green, so it's a quick way for me to just scan up and down really quick, or pull back and get a bigger view of what's going on to see if he's in the elevator doorway. So I had been sending my guys out on missions all the time, but I've kind of pulled back. Kind of want to max out. I have 2 teams, and if you've listened to me for 5 minutes, you know that I am not about the new propaganda about gender and all that other garbage, blah blah blah. I think people are made in the image of God, are deserving of love and respect and dignity until they prove otherwise. And yeah, I don't necessarily think a woman can do everything that a man can do. Women just have some physical limitations that men don't. We're made different. But we complement each other quite well. Anyway, my lead into that was I've got 2 teams of people that I send out on missions. This is the head of one of the teams. I lucked out. I've got some awesome armor, some awesome power armor, and a, what is it, tuned Gatling laser. So he just lays it down and just destroys fools all day long. And then there's 2 other people that go with him. Another guy who's got a rocket launcher, and then a girl. Hey, I feel like I'm running out of time here. I'm not gonna find him. Oh, there we go. Another 2 grand. I'll take it. I'm almost up to 30. Anyway, so one team is made up of 2 guys and 1 girl, and the other team is just, I think, all girls. Their stats are good, but what I'm wanting to do is just max out all of the character attributes, the whole special spectrum of attributes, as it were, and then send them out so they're just unstoppable. And I want to send some out into the wasteland just to let them wander and sort of have a text adventure, which is something I really enjoy about this. It's very reminiscent of, I don't know, in a way, kind of like choose your own adventure books from the 80s. I always thought those were really cool. Oh, this is my house of geniuses. They're getting their smarts tuned up. You can kind of tell who is new to the group. They have very low intelligence quotients. All right. So you can see I've got a lot of people, 114. I do have the broadcast center maxed out. It's not going anywhere. And I can get a couple dwellers in every day, but I'm starting to fill out here for the space that I've got, and I just don't need any other people coming in, and I don't seem to be attracting legendary dwellers coming in, or wasteland travelers, which I thought would be the case. Reason being, in my studio here, you can see everyone's charisma stat is maxed out. And yes, I do have a guy in a Pope outfit or a Bishop outfit, what have you. He's doing the Sunday broadcast. Some other things that I've got done, which I think are pretty impressive. And mind you, I have not purchased any add-ons for this game. No pay-to-play coming from this cheap gamer. Just not happening. So I haven't purchased any of the packs, nothing like that. No caps, no cards, no nothing. No lunch boxes, as it were. So I've saved everything I've got. And as you can tell, it really doesn't take too long. Okay, sounds like he's in the center channel somewhere. So let's seek him out. Oh, and there he was, just as I found him. Oh well. He lives to keep his pennies and caps for another day. Anyway. What I've actually got done here, it took a long time. I think I had to save 60,000 caps. But I can craft legendary weapons in the weapon plant here. If you're saying to yourself, well, Classy, why don't you? Well, I haven't been on any missions, which is where you're going to collect the majority of your junk in this game, which end up being the components you use to construct weapons and outfits with. And I'm bone dry on that stuff, and I'm not going out until my dudes are maxed out. Until they're just complete studs, and they're just going to curb stomp everyone they come upon. So that might take a bit, but I'm a patient person, so should work out to my favor. So that's one of the dudes that's part of the team. I'll show you another one here. I think he's over here. No. He's getting his perception built up. He's got a rocket launcher. And there he is. And there's the missile launcher. Ridiculous. Talk about overkill. That's what I like to see, though. So he's another member of the team. And then the other member of the team is this little lady right here. Good old Nancy Taylor. She's got a kitty cat, which I think, what, gives her extra caps? Oh, 100% more wasteland junk, which is great to have because you want junk. You want junk, and you don't want it in the trunk. You want it right out front so you can craft things with it. That is for sure. So she's the third member of the team, and then the all-women's team is like, I don't even really remember. I've only sent them out on a couple missions, but I think they're getting trained up right now, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Let's see. Who one of them? Yep, Dorothy Martin is one of them. She's got a sweet rusty combat shotgun. Could be sweeter, but we'll get there little by little. Rad Scorpion. Now this has got to be the biggest pain to deal with in this game. And what I kind of do is select the room, select character, and then I will just hit the left stick and it automatically scroll through the characters. And what that does is it automatically heals him up faster than he can take him out. Hopefully gets killed here, I don't know. He's being a real pain. Rad Scorpions are no joke. And the worst part is the longer they're here, as you can see in the meter above there for just a moment was blinking red, he just sucks the power out of your place, so he makes you play a game of catch up on your power, and it sucks. Cap this fool, guys, come on. You can see my rad away and stim packs are just going down and down and down. Goodness. There we go. There's my boy with a tuned Gatling laser. Having no problems taking fools out. Let's heal these guys up, which is really the biggest pain. They definitely cause the most havoc, far worse than the Death Claws. The Death Claws are really minimal. They're kind of slightly more of a nuisance than Feral Ghouls coming in the front. You can see how far that Rad Scorpion has put my power behind now. Alright, sounds like he's in the center someplace. Oh, there he is, right up there. And I'm easily 450, but I will take it. Alright, we've got to heal some people up here. So, one of my strategies too is when he comes rolling through like that, I won't always heal everybody up, especially if they're on the brink of leveling up. It kind of makes it a waste. So what I will do is I'll just let them level up, and then their health gets restored anyway. And then I'm not down so many stim packs. It's helpful. Don't have any themes filled out just yet. There's some I only need like 2 or 3 more pieces to fill out. And yeah. So all my training centers, these are all maxed out. Obviously this room's not as big as it could be. But it is maxed out for the size that it's at. These 2 are maxed out. This is where they train to get lucky. Up all night to get lucky, I bet. I bet they are. Up all night for good fun. Anyway, as you can see, it's kind of a, I don't know, pinball arcade, bowling alley, billiard room. I'm sure if you maxed it out on other sides, it'd probably turn into like a casino with slot machines. Maybe. Honestly, I've never seen it, so. So what I'm saving up for now is to, boom, right there, craft legendary outfits. It's going to take 90,000 caps. It's insane. But I'll get there. I'm already at 30,000, and I think it's only taken me like a day to get 30,000. So it's not going to be long. I'll have that maxed out too. And hopefully by then I'll have my super soldiers ready, and they will just go out and murder, death, kill all the bandits in the wasteland. Won't that be nice? Okay, so he's definitely on the left channel here someplace. Ah, there he is. Well, thank you for that whole 220 caps. I don't know what I'd do without that. Ah, every little bit helps. It all adds up. See how, yeah, level 35 is the highest level any of my guys are. Kind of cool. So Dorothy Martin's one of the warriors. Teresa Curtis, is she one? No, she's not. Let's scroll through the list and find maybe Melissa Parker. Maybe. Not sure. I'll tell you who I am sure about though. Kayla Scott. She's definitely one. As you can see, her stats are going through the roof. They're going really well, so. Oh, I did have someone that was still irradiated. Poor Peter Scott. Let's take care of you, buddy. There. Turn that frown upside down. Mole rats, really nothing to worry about. You know, for Bethesda, I guess I'll save what I'm going to say until after this alarm is done and over with. Man, those mole rats are really taking a ticking. They keep right on licking. Just die. You ugly, God-forsaken creature. Finally. Alright, so, before I was so rudely interrupted, I forgot what I was going to say. Ah, it comes back to me now. For Bethesda being the lefty, snowflake-filled, lefty, socialist agenda, commie company that they are, anti-right, anti-Trump, anti-conservative, I just can't stand them. They're like the leftist, the most leftist video game company in existence. If I ever met little Petey Hines, I'd be giving him a fat lip. Let me just say it that way. He's such a coward too. You look at his Twitter feed, and he's, you know, basically Wolfenstein New Order is just a big innuendo for we hate Trump, we hate the right. You'd almost think that Bethesda, the studio, is made up of just a bunch of Antifa members, bunch of snowflakes. Everyone's got dyed blue and purple hair, and, you know, just a bunch of twits. They can make a video game, I'll give them that. But you're not curing cancer, guys. You know, and I think your political opinion matters as much as I think that an actor or musician's political opinion matters. Okay? Just because you make video games doesn't qualify you to be a political analyst, because you're not. You're a video game maker. Next question. Anyway, for as left-leaning and commie-ish as they are, their game underscores something that I think they would be something that is just the antithesis of maybe some of their core central socialist lefty beliefs, which is anti-gun, right? Anti-Second Amendment. But this game underscores the importance of everyone being armed, having sufficient gun, having sufficient ammunition to defend themselves at all times. Because you just never know what's going to happen. Oh, wait, Classy, you mean just like real life? Yeah, kinda. I mean, I'll give you that we're not living in a post-apocalyptic radiated wasteland in a Mad Max-esque social setting, but there's some wackos out there, man. You do not know what's gonna happen, and it is much better to have and not need than need and not have. Better to be prepared than unprepared for any situation. And Second Amendment is an important right for Americans. Because if you're going to outsource your security to the cops, who are going to show up late, not because they're bad people, just because it's the nature of what they do. They're doing so much at one time. They're not going to get there in time, necessarily, for them to settle what's going on if some armed intruder enters your house and is asking for all your goods or your life, or, you know, wants to rape your wife or daughter, God forbid. But if you're not going to take personal responsibility over the protection of your family, you are spineless to begin with. Seriously. You are spineless. If your family can't depend on you for their protection, you might as well just castrate yourself. Although if you're left-leaning, you've probably already thought about that. I.e. sex change. Anywho. Almost at 35,000. One thing I've realized playing this game is an absolute dream for people who have careers in the field of project management or leadership. You will absolutely flock to this game. It'll just make sense to you. I know it does me. And there he is. Oh, and right before I clicked on him, I was thinking maybe a couple grand again, right? And sure enough, there it is. I'll take it. Daddy likes. Daddy likes. Obviously, another another characteristic of this game and its monetary system and the way that its economy works is very capitalistic, right? Takes money to build things. Costs money to make rooms, expand them, upgrade them. To build armor. To build weapons. It's like this game stands for everything that Bethesda as a company would seemingly hate. Which I think is ironic, and I love that. Alright, maybe I don't love it. I just like it. I dig the irony in it. There we go. We're getting our power bar right back up to max here. Slowly but surely. That's probably the weakest part of my shelter at the moment. I won't say that I have all aces in the power management area. If you're wondering what the halter top is about, the country girl shirt, it ups her strength. And it looks so good. Not really. Anywho, as you can see, these people, their strength attribute is not maxed out. If it was, they'd be kicking out this power way faster, and I'd be able to recover from rad scorpion attacks like it's nobody's business. I mean, it's still nobody's business, but I think you get what I'm saying. Let's see if we've completed any objectives. We haven't. Once we craft 5 rare weapons, we can get that lunchbox, and I will tell you, you want those lunchboxes. Get some pretty nifty stuff in them. You can get some, yeah, you're always going to benefit from them. Sometimes you're just getting food or water. Other times you're getting legendary armor, items, wasteland dwellers. So you never know what you're gonna get. I think I got the, well, I know I got the power armor. There he is. Ooh, look at that. Almost 5,000. Man, I might make that 60,000 right during this stream. This is going incredibly well. 42,000. Almost 42.5 already. I like it. As you can see, I've got some Mr. Handies here on the 2nd and 3rd floors. And what's cool about having them is once your resources are ready, you get that green icon like you do here. You don't necessarily have to click it. He'll go in there and take care of it for you, just like he just did. So that's really convenient, especially frees you up to be able to hit other rooms that they might not be in, or organize and put people in different rooms. So frees you up a bit. If I could, I'd have a Mr. Handy on every single floor. That would be, excuse the pun, but extremely handy. Alright, we got 35 rataways and 18 stim packs. That's going pretty good. As you can see, everybody's intellect attribute or stat is maxed right out here. Not messing around. This is big pharma, folks. We've got big pharma going on right within the vault. Good old Vault 76 here. For anyone that's curious, this vault is my second attempt since I downloaded it on PlayStation. Been quite a while since I played it on iOS, and I was like, I think there's gonna be things that I'm gonna have to relearn. And sure enough, the first vault was not a complete disaster, but I was not happy with it either. And once I started the second one, it was like everything clicked and I got it again. It was like, oh yeah, okay, I know how this works. People are standing around doing nothing. Really not their fault. I don't really have a place for them to go at the moment. Well, let's see. Yeah, I really don't. Training facilities are booked right up, filled out. So as soon as I can start sending my teams on missions, grabbing some mad coin, pulling down some real sweet junk, then I'll definitely be able to put them in some training rooms, get their stats maxed up. And then my plan long term, okay, he's in the center, it sounds like. See him so far. I move because, oh, there he is. Ooh, all for 135 caps. Lucky me. Knew it was getting close. Anyway, anyone you have your teams working on your weapons or your armor in this game, your outfits, you're definitely going to want all of their stats maxed out. And the reason being is each piece of armor requires different stats to work on. So the advanced BOS uniform right at the top here, you'll notice the P with the circle around it, right next to the icon of the outfit and above that gray box. That's what's needed to make that thing quick. I, A, it goes right through. And if you want this stuff made quick as possible without having to waste Nuka-Cola on it getting done, you need to have those stats maxed out. And you need to have a full room of people to get it done. So that's going to be priority number 2 once my super army is constructed. Love the humor of this game. If you zoom in, they're usually saying pretty hilarious things. Let you know what they think about their position. If they hate the job they're doing, they'll complain. If they love it, you know, they'll say things like that. To think I finally found my dream job. Or I couldn't be happier, so on and so forth. I'm just so happy I could burst. But don't worry, I won't. Well, that's good. So that would leave quite a mess. And I don't think anyone's got the attributes to clean that up. Everyone evacuate the entire vault. Right. Level ups going on. Always good. You get the number of caps for the level that they're completing, so darn it. This is never going to come up because I think I limited the bandwidth on the old PlayStation 4 when I started the stream. Thank you. Finally. Right, he definitely sounds like he's in the the left channel here. Somewhere. There he is. And almost a grand. We'll take that. Alright, so while we're waiting to collect more resources, la-di-da-di-da, all that other good stuff, why don't we check out some gaming news headlines and discuss them? I think that sounds fun. So let me pull those up, and let's go over those. Just review what's hot in gaming today. Alright, Polygon reports, why should we care about a Google video game console? Google doesn't have a clear path to releasing a console. Google's got the money to make something great. Will they? If you want my educated guess on that, I'm going to say go ahead and look at everything else that Google makes hardware-wise, what they design. And I think you will be convinced that they would be tertiary in the scheme of things. Meaning that they're not going to be your first or even second choice. I mean, but it all depends on who they've got working on it. If they've got some smart people, they're ingenuitive and got good heads on their shoulders and know what a gamer wants and can offer what a gamer wants, and maybe pick up and build upon the weaknesses of the current console generation or what might be soon the next console generation, then I think they could get a foot in the door, but it's going to be a hard sell. Going to be a hard sell. Imagine the thing would run on some sort of Android OS. But we'll see. I mean, honestly, I don't use Google for much. Google offers movie rentals and you can buy music. I just don't use Google for any of that stuff. If I buy music, it's from Amazon over iTunes because the bitrate's way higher and it's a better quality. And generally speaking, if the album in question allows me auto rip, which is being able to buy the disc and then simultaneously download the MP3s right on the spot at the time of purchase, so I'm not waiting for that disc to arrive in order for me to listen to it for just $1 more or so. I mean, that's a killer steal in my book, especially for someone like myself that loves physical media, loves to open up CD jewel case, check out the liner notes, see all that stuff, all that good stuff. And then movie-wise, I mean, Vudu is my go-to. I've got a ridiculously large Vudu library. when they had their disc to digital service. I was killing on that. I maxed it out. I think it did. I don't remember what the max was like. You could do 99 or 100. And they were just upgrading you for $2. I mean, it was stupid. And that's only if, you know, you didn't have a digital code to input. Most Blu-ray discs that you buy these days have a digital copy of it you can input and then watch it on Vudu. But if you don't have that, you would scan the UPC of the Blu-ray case, and then you could just go right to it and just add it to your library for a couple bucks, and you'd have it in HDX. So Vudu's the way to go for me there. And my secondary on hand as far as watching digital media is concerned is Amazon, where I will purchase all seasons of TV shows that I'm interested in watching. Currently watching Alone season 4? Season 5, I believe, right now. Actually, it's not even called season 5, it's called Alone Redemption. And great show. If you've never watched any seasons of Alone and you're into wilderness survival, even if you're not, I think it's got such a broad appeal just because of the nature of the show. And I don't mean nature as in the nature from which they're living off of, just spectrum of human emotions. That sounds pretentious. Human emotions. There are only human emotions. Spectrum of emotions that these people endure and go through during their time in isolation, living off the land, it's awesome. And seeing the way that they cope with it is just, it's really intriguing. It's fascinating. And it's something that definitely makes you realize that we weren't created to be lone wolves or loners. We need community. We need people. We're built for social interaction. And is it any wonder that when people turn into hermits, they turn into just shut-ins, that they start to lose it mentally upstairs. They start to go crazy. So right, that one was kind of hard to hear. I don't know what side of the vault he is on. I'm just kind of up. There he is. He's in the elevator shaft. Sneaky, but I gotcha. Give me them dollars. 45. I'll take it. And there it is. Power is all back up to normal until the next rad scorpion attack. So, shows I'm currently watching: Alone, season 5, aka Redemption. Awesome. Currently watching the newest season of Pawn Stars, which is just an all-time favorite of mine. Rip, old man, just passed away at 77 years old. And I just saw that memorial episode that they aired. That was really touching. It was really good. And I hope the old man knew the Lord. I hope he's in paradise with the Lord. I hope that once I get up there, I hope I run into him. But love watching Pawn Stars. Another show I was really geeking out over. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if I was completely geeking out over it. There were times. The show had moments that captivated me. And my wife, quite frankly. She loves the show too. It's called Counterpart. It's a Starz original. And, excuse me, stars J.K. Simmons of Whiplash fame. I mean, Whiplash is, especially if you're a musician, it is a great movie. Even if you're not a musician, there's still so much you're going to you're going to appreciate about it. But I think the fact that the movie was written and directed by a musician and is based roughly off of his experience, says that, you know, you're going to get more out of it if you're a musician. But still, it's got a broad enough appeal that if you're not, there's still so much to like about the film that you'd be able to enjoy it regardless. So J.K. Simmons from Whiplash, he's in the new show called Counterpart, and it's got a really, really, really awesome plot. The plot is, at some point, I think during the Cold War, they were doing experiments over in Eastern Europe, and something happened. I can't really explain it verbatim the way the show presents the premise, but I'll just give you the rough draft here. There are now two realities, and they're connected, and people from one side can go over to the other side and see their other self. And they're not, it's not like there's a tourism thing going on. They really don't want people to do that, but inevitably that is what happens. So you have one meek and mild J.K. Simmons character, and then you have a rip-roaring badass on the other side, which I would refer to as the other side, because there's a side that's supposed to be, you know, kind of like has the history that we remember or know about in our world, but they have an alternate history. And so not everything is exactly the same about people. 90% is, though. 90% of everything that one person has done or gone through, another has. But sometimes people are dead on one side and alive on the other. Anyway, it's got a whole espionage thing going on. Political espionage, and it's really good. J.K. Simmons kills it. I mean, there are some episodes where he's carrying it on his back effortlessly. He's captivating to watch. I think he's one of the best actors, and certainly one of the most underrated actors of this generation. Certainly loved him in everything I've ever seen him in. All Nighter, I thought he was great in that. Of course, he was awesome in all the Spider-Man films. The Tobey Maguire ones. You know, the best ones ever. You know, before Spider-Man turned into social justice BS. I'm looking at you, Nouveau Mary Jane from The Amazing Spider-Man. Or Homecoming, rather. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, I hated. Hated everything about those two Spider-Man movies. They were terrible. You want to talk about plot holes and leaps in logic, forget it. Yeah, I mean, no movie's perfect, but this one was just... Oh, man. It was insulting to one's intelligence to watch. Alright, what do we got going here? 46. I said earlier I need to get to 60, but what the heck was I thinking? I need 90. It's not going to happen tonight. I'm not going to play this game for that long. I mean, I could. Certainly, it draws you in enough. It doesn't lack in that area. But not seeing him, and I know he's on the left channel. And I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose big money. Where? The. Darn it. Anyway. Things I like and don't like about Counterpart. Here's what I don't like. It's got just the biggest in-your-face, outright, pro-lesbo, pro-gay agenda, which, you know what, I don't agree with. It's wrong. I'm not going to be one of those jack-offs that sits on a stream and says, not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, because God forbid we should make a righteous judgment about anything, right? There is something wrong with homosexuality. It's sin. It is destructive. Don't believe me? Look at the suicide rate for gays. And then tell me that it's because they're bullied. Because I think we all know we live in a current culture, current atmosphere, political atmosphere that it's widely accepted. And I'm not saying we should bash them. I'm not saying we should hate on them. In fact, I'd say the opposite. We should love them. We should show them the love of Christ. But we're not going to affirm their lifestyle. And the thing that, you know, if you notice the tone of my voice, getting a little angry, is because it's so pervasive in society. And it just destroys people's lives. And then anyone who comes out of that lifestyle, it's almost like leftist black culture, right? If you're not a dyed-in-the-wool Democratic black person who thinks just like all the other Democratic blacks do, then you're not really black, which I think is the most racist thing ever. And it's ironic that it comes from the blacks. It's insane. It's insane that a genius and a godly man like Ben Carson is labeled an Uncle Tom. I mean, albeit he's labeled an Uncle Tom by complete morons, people that just are intellectual retards in comparison to this man. I'd have been proud to call Ben Carson my president. I really would have. And I'm extremely proud to call Donald Trump my president. I've got to say that since he's become president and the way he's turned America around, going back to the core values that this nation was built on, and turning away from the socialist, leftist, communistic agendas that were being introduced by the Obama administration, I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. God bless him. I hope he's in for 2 terms. But original point being counterpoint, excuse me, not counterpoint, counterpart, is just to show that it throws the gay stuff right in your face. So it's a fast forward through that part just to get to the good bits. The good bits for me. Oh, caught him right off the bat. Give me that money, chump. There's a lot to salvage out of that. And it's written by women, I believe, if I'm not incorrect, if I'm not mistaken. And there's not, I'm not saying, oh, women can't write, but these are women with a feminist, a hugely feminist, hugely pro-homo agenda, and they're not shy about it. I mean, I can remember when I was young and a teenager, and you just didn't do that. In fact, if you did that, that was considered selling out. And now it's so pervasive. Now it's politics everywhere you look. Whereas it wasn't like that before. In the 90s with that SNL, I mean, George Bush was lambasted, and so was Bill Clinton equally. And it never felt like, oh, we've got an agenda to smear one political party over the other. It was just poking fun. And it was great. I mean, that's when SNL was really killing it, in my opinion. That's when it was at its best. Now it's just total lefty trash. So, Counterpart, great show, great premise. Bunch of homo propaganda that I don't agree with. But if you have a fast forward button and you can tolerate using it, then I'd recommend checking it out and let me know what you think. So I think it's got a solid narrative, solid plot, solid premise. It's just really good. There's a lot I like about it. And I can't wait for season 2. It has been renewed for another season, so hopefully it'll be back here pretty quick. It's like stream health sucks. Dropping frames, whereas I wasn't earlier tonight, which is really quite crazy. And I'm guessing it's more of a YouTube side of thing. Not an Integrity Gamer Staying Classy problem. Because I've got the bandwidth on my end. And not only that, I've got to tell you, if you're a streamer or you like to do any sort of live streaming at all, you need an Asus router. Don't wait. Get an Asus router. I'm not going to say every Asus router is aces. No pun intended. Wink, wink. Just like every other brand, there's cheap models, you know, mid models, mid-tier models, and then the high-end stuff. You get what you pay for. And I think I paid 90, maybe 100 and some dollars for the router I have. And the app that it has on my phone just gives me complete control over all the different devices connected to my network. I can control their speeds, I can block their access, so for someone who does streaming or uploading to YouTube, I think that's very vital, and that's definitely a feature you want. So if you don't have an Asus router, get one. I'm actually planning on getting like a nice top tier one, $300-400 one. And the cool thing is that it'll take my lower tiered, in comparison, router, and it will use it as another access point, which I think is just ingenious, man. I don't know of many wireless router companies or wireless networking companies that offer that. To me, that's just awesome. That means I don't have to get rid of my other one. In fact, I'll be able to expand my wireless network range, which is killer to me. Yes, and thank you, and can I get some more? $50 grand, I think we'll call it there. I appreciate all 229 subscribers not tuning in tonight. That's made it a lot of fun. But for anyone who goes back and listens to this, I'm sure you'll find something worthwhile to listen to about it. Some redeemable aspect. Maybe just a single solitary 3-second soundbite where I said something mildly funny, humorous, or entertaining. Something you agreed with politically. If I have, like the video. It's just that easy and just that simple. You like it. And then you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I mean, do you really want to be a bottom-feeding leech your entire life? No, it's not cool if you do. There is something wrong with that. So stop. Subscribe, like, and come back for more. Bring a lunch. Alright, we're going to stop her right here. Do the old save and main menu out. And I already hear people setting off fireworks in the background. 4th of July come early. And if I don't stream between now and the 4th, have an awesome 4th of July. Have a great Independence Day. And I hope that, sincerely hope, you know what it means to be American. You know what those values actually mean that we hold true. And what the significance of Independence Day is. And why it's so important to this country, which is the greatest country of all time. The most prosperous country of all time. The freest country of all time. And probably one of the most just and caring countries of all time. I'm not saying this country's perfect, it's not. And no country is. But damn, in the face of all the other countries that have ever been throughout history, we're top tier. We are top tier, and thank God we are. Because it enables us to be a light to other countries and to help other countries. And I sincerely hope in the future we do that. So, think a veteran. Remember a fallen one. And God bless you all. You guys have a great night. Happy 4th if I don't see you between now and then. And peace out. God bless. And enjoy the end screen. Peace.